Today I'm waiting for the encore. My guest is IAN Cochran. IAN is a big old mountain man of a lead singer, fronting the thunderous rock and roll outfit Cowboy Diplomacy. His large voice and presence are a welcome change of pace to the stages he plays, and his energy comes blaring through the speakers. I had a great time learning more about him, so check out my sit-down with IAN Cochran. All right, IAN Cochran in the house, joining me today. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So let's jump right into it, and kind of want to start where you were as a artist and band leader around mid-March when kind of all this COVID stuff kicked in. What were you doing with your band, Cowboy Diplomacy? What did you guys have planned? And after everything kind of fell apart, like it did for all of us, what have you been up to since then?
Yeah, so we just had things booked for the future. You know, we had some things in like the summertime and a couple different music festivals we were gonna do for the first time, so we were looking forward to that. But yeah, I think everybody's just been I hope everyone's just been working on new songs and writing, and just maybe even getting into the studio now that everything seems to be a little bit calming down it seems like a little bit. And but yeah, since then we've been just kind of working on new stuff and figuring out where we're gonna. The plan is to record at the end of October some new stuff, either in here in Austin or maybe even Nashville or maybe even California. We're still trying to figure that out, but just working on some new tunes, man.
Have you guys done any? Have you done any gigs or any live streams or anything in the last 5-6 months?
We did a show an outdoor thing at Stubbs. When everything opened back up for a second, and then like a week later they like shut everything down again.
Right.
We did that, and then we've done a couple of live like acoustic online live stream things through a app called Gigmore, and they're super cool and they're really fun to work with. So that's been different and fun and something, you know, to kind of practice and get the new music out there a little bit.
Right. How was the Stubbs show that you guys did there? Because that's obviously a super cool stage and under circumstances that are totally different than they've ever used it for, I would imagine. How was that show?
Yeah, it was well, we had a blast. Like we just wanted to get on the stage. Like you said, the stage is so cool, and it's I think on the top of the list for everybody who's been playing in Austin for a while to play on the outdoor stuff stage. So that was just fun in itself to kind of experience the backstage, and yeah, just to play again was great. There wasn't a lot of people. Obviously, they were doing the whole social distancing thing, 6 people per table, but it was just good to get out there again and sweat and just play, man. It was
I know, man. I don't think most of us are in this case, but I haven't.
Have you played it all since March? No.
I've done a bunch of live streams, which they were pretty good at first, and I still enjoy doing them. But after doing a handful of them, the income for them started to decrease because it's your acoustic guitar. I love doing that stuff, but it's kind of the same show with about 20% changeability in there, and so I can understand why. You can't. Everyone's schedules are different too, but I'm probably gonna pick it up soon again. Just start doing it once a week, and whatever happens, just to get the playing in. But no, have not done any live gigs. Not even a band practice or anything. I'm kind of going at the behest of my wife's just strict play it safe rules, which I'm fine with. But no, nothing really. So
yeah. I'm glad you're doing the live stream thing too, though. That's good. I mean, it's fun to just get something, do something and make sure that people are watching, and that's kind of cool. And get
Absolutely.
Some new songs and stuff.
So you said you did it through, what was the name of the site you guys used to do it?
Called a Gigmore.
And is that like a better setup, more specialized than say like an Instagram or a Facebook thing?
Yeah, so they do a sound check the day before, and they kind of like help you with the computer audio and set it up to where it's like trying to get the best quality you can out of it. And they're just really cool. They're really like nice people and great to work with. And I think we might be doing another one on the 10th, September 10th. do a little acoustic thing again. But they're always looking for people. So if you're interested, I could let you know.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Now, did you
Yeah.
go to their studio, or did they just be like a middleman, technology middleman?
Yeah, they're like a middleman. Like, well, they'll do like a Zoom conference thing like we're doing right now, and then sound check it, and then we go through Twitch. Have you heard of Twitch?
I've heard of it. Never used it or anything, though.
Yeah, it's like a streaming thing. So it's basically the middleman. Yeah, we never like actually like meet them, but we talk to them online, and they help with the sound check and all that, and then get us going. So
very cool. So let's go back a little bit, my man, and kind of get your backstory. Where are you from? And tell us a little bit about your early days as a human and a musician, and kind of, what were your early influences? When did you start playing your first instruments, and kind of take us from there?
Yeah. I decided I wanted to play music and be a rock star when I was 16. I picked up a guitar when I was probably like 13 and just kind of messed around from there. And then we started a full band in high school called Shea Euphoria. It was a psychedelic rock band. And I just fell in love with it after that. And when after high school, we all, kind of went our separate ways. And I did some acoustic stuff with a buddy of mine in LA and Santa Barbara for like 3 or 4 years after that. And didn't really like take it like seriously, and didn't really enjoy the solo thing as much as I did with the band thing. I liked the whole band, like being in a band, and doing that. And I decided 2015, I moved from Santa Barbara to Austin with my buddy Brad, the bass player in Cowboy Diplomacy. And we've been here ever since. And we've had a couple different players throughout the years, but me and him have always been together the whole time. And it's been fun just kind of experimenting with like the different sounds that we've gone through, from like folky to singer-songwriter to now we're doing rock and roll kind of with the country twist. So.
And are you from the West Coast originally?
From San Diego originally. Grew up with Brad, went to the same high school. We kind of connected after high school, and we've been playing together ever since, maybe almost coming up on like 10 years now.
Very cool. It's nice you can maintain a working relationship for that long. Not always the case.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, me and Brad have stuck together. We've been attached at the hip since.
And how do you like the Southern California vibe? Because full disclosure, I might be headed out there in the near future. So
cool.
just kind of
you're in Southern California?
Yeah, we're looking at Los Angeles in spite of all the all the shit that's going on. That's kind of where we're looking, and we've been looking at it for a while. Still not 100%, but it's looking pretty likely. And I mean, how did you like it? You grew up there, so that's a whole different perspective. But how was the LA scene as much as you got involved with it? And I know Santa Barbara's real laid back and beautiful. And
yeah. LA for me wasn't really my vibe, just because like I don't know. It's first of all, like to get anywhere in LA, it takes you like 30 minutes, even if it's like a mile down the road with all the traffic and stuff. I didn't jump too far into the music scene. It was more just kind of focused. Like we weren't really, like I said, taking it that serious. We were just kind of messing around, playing songs and writing stuff and recording a couple little EP with 4-song EP then. But I feel like the important step to make would be to go to LA or New York or really get into that scene. Now, if you're actually taking it serious, like for example, you and me now, but certain parts of LA are cool. I lived in Santa Monica, so I like that vibe, kind of like by the beach, and
right.
That was nice. I enjoyed that area, but for the most part, I just wasn't really vibing with LA as much as I thought I would, as opposed to like San Diego or Santa Barbara. But now here in Austin, I love it. I love it here.
Yeah, man, it's such a behemoth. It's just so much to deal with on an everyday basis that Yeah,
and it's so expensive too.
Yeah, you can see how much cool stuff there is there, and I'm definitely a beach guy, and who doesn't like perfect weather all the time, and
right.
and everything, but you just hear about the traffic and the expensiveness and all that stuff. And I get it. It's a lot, I'm sure. So you started playing guitar around 13, you said. That's pretty close to me. I started when I was about 15, so kind of the same thing. And then when you were growing up, was there anything unique about your relationship with music other than, I'm sure you just loved it from as early as you can remember, but what kind of music were you really pumping through your system in your, your early years, your early teenage years when we're all so impressionable and stuff like that?
Yeah. My dad just jammed classic rock down the throat. That was it. That's all I listened to. And I still just, that's basically all I listen to. I'm not like a music historian by any means, and I don't really keep up with like the latest type of music, which I totally should. But yeah, it was mainly like, like the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix, and the Doors, and the Band, and Willie Nelson, and the Allman Brothers, like all those guys. And yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, I love them. Yeah, man, that was basically it for me. Like that kind of music, that kind of vibe.
And then you made your way to Austin in 2015. So
yeah,
I was just talking about this with someone, and he had come in about 2005. I came in 2011. So I consider that a really good time to come because Austin still had its, its roots and its kind of, its roots as being Austin as most people knew it as Austin. And then it would kind of, over the next 4, 5, 6 years, it kind of hit a real upturn where there was just a ton of opportunity for just new venues opening. That was just when it was really exploding. And then, to be honest, it kind of hit that plateau of now it's becoming something else. But how was your experience? You said you loved it and that you love it. And I can certainly dig that. But coming in 2015, where did you start? You came with your buddy. I'm guessing you guys tried to find some day jobs and then put a band together. Is that kind of your path when you came here?
Yeah. We got here like 2 weeks before ACL 2015, like right October 2nd, I think we got here, and then went to that, had a blast, and then immediately had to find a job. We worked at the South Congress Hotel together. When that just opened up, we were valets. And through being valets, we found our drummer who was playing across the street like 2 months later. He was just playing on the street. We walked up to him. We're like, yo, dude, want to be in our band? We need a drummer. And his name was Matt Leslie. And he stayed with us for a while. And then found a couple other guys. Phil DeVries was in our band. Both of them left the band about a year and a half ago. And now we have Matt Wilden and Billy Boswell, who used to play in a band called Gasoline Boots. And we loved their bands so much. As soon as Matt and Phil left, we were like, yo, do you guys want to be in your band but also be in this band? And yeah, but it was just basically, bouncing around day jobs. I worked in the hotel business for a while, doing ballet stuff, bellman stuff, food and beverage industry stuff. Music has never been like a full-time gig, so obviously that's the goal. But yeah, it's been cool bouncing around and getting to know like different people at these different jobs and kind of building a bunch of different relationships and in a bunch of different places in Austin, and everyone's so nice here.
Yeah, I mean that's
about it when I first got here. I was like, why is everyone so nice? What's the deal here?
Absolutely, man. I mean it was striking when I got here.
It was striking.
How nice everybody was.
Mm-hmm.
And me coming from the Midwest, where people are already pretty nice. And
where in the Midwest?
So I grew up in Milwaukee, and then I went to school in Madison for a while, and then I lived in Chicago for 4 years before I moved here. And people are certainly friendly in the Midwest for the most part. And I would imagine, maybe I'm wrong, but I would imagine there's a lot of friendliness, maybe even some of it's a little bit on the fake or superficial side. But I'd imagine people are pretty friendly in Southern California for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. I would say in San Diego, LA was kind of, I don't want to judge LA at all, but like right. I kind of got that. Like compared to here, it was just like, whoa.
Right.
Like whoa. This is, like you said, striking would be a good word to describe it. But definitely in San Diego, for sure, there's a bunch of like chill beach stoner hippie dudes, and like it's just like cool laid back vibe.
Yeah, that was the exact same experience I had when I came here. And I wonder if it's the same for people that have come more recently, if it still retains that unique quality of being just the most nice play, people being so nice, or if it's become a little bit more of a just kind of a, for lack of a better term, a more of a corporate environment as, you know, the high rises come in and all that stuff
Yeah,
happens. So I
yeah,
can't say, I guess maybe if I bump into somebody who's only been here a couple of years, I can ask them, but yeah, for sure. That was the same experience I got. And then I know Matt and Billy, I know them because we were playing some of the same venues very often together.
oh,
So we
cool.
would constantly be loading in and loading out at the same time. So
Oh, right on.
those guys are great guys and
They're
really good,
amazing. They
yeah,
become like brothers to me.
really good
So
players too, man. Really
they're
good
great.
players.
Yeah, they're so good. Yeah.
So, kind of getting to Cowboy Diplomacy, you guys have a great sound, and like you said, it's rock and roll with a little taste of kind of the country vibe, but it's certainly rock and roll. And you have, and I'm definitely kind of in the same Venn diagram, so to speak, as you vocally. We both have kind of those deep,
Yeah.
growly voices, and I'm
Yeah. I love your voice, man.
ditto, appreciate it. But I'm interested where you kind of, you take what you're given. So obviously you have a low range, you have a low voice, but who are some of your vocal influences as you kind of built your voice? And even kind of going back from that, when did you start singing?
Yeah. I started singing when we formed our high school band in freshman year around 16. And the only reason I started is because we were looking for a singer for so long. And I was just like, whatever, I'll do it. I don't know how to sing. I have no idea. So I wasn't really a singer when I started. It was more just like a mumble talker, like just make up some lyrics and say some,
Right.
just kind of, and then I just kind of went from there and just kind of, I'm not really sure how I got my sound. It just kind of happened. And there wasn't really anyone that I tried to sound like. It was just like, what came out came out. But I mean, I love Anthony Kiedis, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I like the way he like sings and the way he delivers. And
Mm-hmm.
Jim Morrison, we kind of have the same type of style.
Mm-hmm.
We say that a lot. Sturgill Simpson, a guy I've been listening to a lot is Paul Coffin. He's
I don't know Paul Coffin. Is he a solo guy or is he part of a band?
He's a solo. He's in a band, but he's got a full band. But he goes by Paul Coffin.
Okay. Is that kind of country or more rock and roll stuff?
Yeah, he's like country. Yeah, definitely more on the countryside, but it's not country rock, I would say. Yeah. I love John Legend and
Well, that's interesting.
yeah, I love John Legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my main guys.
And
Whose voices I really admire for sure.
yeah, I was a very late starter. I didn't sing growing up, and when I did start, when I was like 19 or 20, I mean, I was a horrible singer, which I didn't.
Yeah.
I think I only partially acknowledged that I was that bad at the beginning because I didn't want to let the get down about it. I just wanted to go forward and work towards where I wanted to be. So yeah. I had to work quite a bit at it. Did yours kind of just come naturally over time, or did you have to implement, kind of a working practicing schedule where you had to work on things so that this could get ironed out and sing along with certain people, or did it kind of just come naturally?
It just kind of came naturally, but yeah, like you, I was just absolutely like garbage for years until like it just started to come naturally. I mean, I took like one or two. I've taken like two lessons before it started to like come up. But yeah, it just kind of happened. I just kind of like played around with it on my own and experimented with what I could do and couldn't do, and yeah, just a natural thing. Which I kind of liked how it came like that, and made it. I feel like it maybe made my voice a little bit more unique than most people, and it just kind of letting it happen, Yeah,
well, you got a lot. There's a lot in there. I mean, you can definitely you can definitely wail. You got a nice, powerful voice, so it came together real nice.
Thanks.
Hey,
Appreciate
Ian, just give me 1 second. I'm going to switch my internet
that.
choice here, so it shouldn't go in or out, but I'm just going to do a proper switch here. Okay. Alrighty. Cool, man. So you talked a little bit about it, but how have you been, other than writing new music, kind of personally and also artistically, how have you been filling up your schedule and keeping your sanity, and what have you been doing for the last 4 or 5 months other than, just like you mentioned, writing and working on new material?
Yeah. I'm a, I really like, I don't mind being by myself.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole thing for me hasn't really like made me like, kind of go and stir crazy or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. Cause I prefer to be alone, honestly.
I hear
But,
you.
yeah, so there's like most people have been getting unemployment and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get that. So I've had to I've been working at a bar in Lockhart called Little Trouble and doing that on the weekends. And sometimes during the week, I've been running favor and just kind of doing some odd jobs and trying to stay healthy, like eat healthy and work out. And yeah, not be, such a party animal. Like when everything was right before everything was, it was just kind of straighten it out a little bit and
Mm-hmm.
get level-headed and clear-headed a little bit. But it's been okay for me. I haven't really like felt, other than the pressure to pay my rent every month and figure out how to do that. But other than that, it's been nice to kind of focus on the writing part and the recording part and try and really get that going instead of just thinking about always playing when the next show is, which is, for me, the funnest part about playing is the live performance and going out there and having fun.
Of course. So the bar in Lockhart, have they been open for some time? Is that kind of just out in cowboy land? They don't really have the same set of rules that Austin has, or is that just recently kind of opened up?
They opened up like 2 weeks before the pandemic, and then obviously they had to close down. It's like a new bar, so that
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks before open, then the pandemic hit that, and then they had to close, and then a friend of a friend recommended me to work there, so I got a part-time gig there, and um, everybody out there is just so great, the owners and all the employees, and yeah, it's been a
What's the name of the place? Like,
Little Trouble.
okay, I'm familiar with that place. I mean, I've seen. I think I know some of the people that are involved with it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it seems
Yeah.
like a real cool place.
Yeah, Casey Wilcox is the executive chef and Megan Dodds. And
Mm-hmm.
they worked at Justine's and they opened up the restaurant and it's amazing. It's incredible.
And have
Super.
they been able to? Have you guys has been able to get some customer flow back, or is it still pretty bleak?
It's staying afloat.
Good.
Like not as busy as it would be, obviously, but enough to stay open and stay afloat. So grateful for that.
Yeah, that's good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
So, other than looking to record your new album and kind of, are you guys practicing like once or twice a week kind of thing?
We're just getting back into the practicing.
Yeah.
Everybody's schedule was kind of a little wonky for
Mm-hmm.
a while there, but now we're kind of all on the same page and just picking songs that we want to do and complete. But yeah, I would say it just started back up about 2 weeks ago for us. So just glad to get back in there and get to work.
Oh, it's got to
Start-
feel good.
start do
And
some stuff. Yeah.
so now that you're kind of getting back to work, and hopefully, back a couple months ago, things were seemingly getting better, and then of course it exploded again, and that might be a cycle we have to get used to. I hope not, but
Right.
supposing things kind of, I don't know, start to come back to normalcy and reach some sort of, let's slowly get back into the swing of things. How are you going to approach the next 6 to 12 months, being that live shows, could be scarce and perhaps non-existent to a certain level? Do you guys have thoughts or plans to kind of exercise the demon, so to speak, other than working on new material and recording new material?
Yeah. No, not really a plan, but trying to come up with one.
Sure.
But I think that would be the main thing, is just maybe getting 5 to 7 songs and coming up with a plan on how to release them as singles, building momentum for us, and maybe doing some sort of music video, or just getting better at creating an internet presence, which is something I'm terrible at. But there's plenty of things like online for free to learn how to get better at that kind of thing, because that's just what it is right now. It's like, if you're not playing and you're not putting on music, you should be doing like photo shoots or something, or a music video, or figuring out how to connect with your audience and your fans, and building relationships with your fans and your audience. So I think that would be probably the thing I want to focus on, is creating a fan base, and working on a logo or merch or anything we could do to just be better for the future. And
Yeah, that's pretty much parallel to the exact. It's like I always did kind of a little bit more than the bare minimum. I did my best with online presence. I put posts up, and I always
yeah, you're
promote.
great at it. You always got.
I'm okay. I mean, I've certainly taken a more aggressive approach since the lockdown, out of necessity, like you just explained. Like, I'm searching for new avenues and just trying to learn new platforms to put my energy in, and also get new fans, keep our fans. But I was never the person who was going to make the content splurge on a consistent basis that a lot of people do. I just wasn't. I was focused on playing gigs and putting out material and that kind of thing. And then once that came to a standstill, it was like, okay, and so that's what I've been putting all my energy into, and trying to build that, because it seems like even if gigs do start up again, any work you put into that realm will not go to waste. You know what I mean? It's the future and the now, and where things are at. So
Yeah, I'm trying to do exactly that, is just getting better at that, because I suck at it.
yeah, it's definitely it's a consistent thing. It just takes a lot of chipping away. I'm definitely like, it humbles you and how little but you can't let it's just trying not to get overwhelmed at, and just learn a little bit here and there, and just keep going with it, and don't give it. It's like you just ultimately can't worry about how many likes you get or how many views you get. You just keep doing it, keep doing it.
Exactly.
But,
it's like there's like a science behind it. You could find out all on the internet, like how to just be better at doing the posting and the social media game, and I want to learn how to like do that. Just be better at it.
For sure. Yeah. Man, me too. So one thing I'm kind of closing out some of these discussions with is, if you have any perspective or thoughts, insights on kind of a bigger picture, view of the music industry itself. And, we live in a kind of haven of the music industry in Austin, because it's such a fruitful community and such a thriving community until, of course, the Corona lockdown. And I'm just interested in, with all the time people have to themselves and to observe what's going on around them, if you have any thoughts or anything at all about where you see the music industry going, where you see the city of Austin going, and how it responds or bounces back or re-evolves from this situation. If you've had any thoughts on that, and if you haven't, that's cool too.
Yeah. For the music industry, I think in Austin, I think one of the best things we could do, in my opinion, as musicians together, is working on stuff together, or just getting together and working on songs, or bouncing back ideas from each other, or recording with each other, supporting one another. I think Austin is full of some of the best musicians in the world, personally. I mean,
Definitely.
I don't know everywhere else, obviously, but I mean, from what the bands that I've heard here and the people that I met, like I feel really lucky to be surrounded by a bunch of awesome musicians like yourself, and
Thank you.
I think all we could do is really right now is support each other and have each other's back, and especially like all the shit that's going on in the world, with it's just I think it's really important that everyone just stays positive and loves one another and yeah, has each other's backs.
Absolutely. And I think it can't be understated how really amazing Austin is as a talent pool. And I think you've touched on it, and I've thought about it as well. I don't see how there's not a pool of talent anywhere else in the world that can outdo us, maybe be our equals, but just in terms of how many people you can go out and see and just go, whoa.
Yeah.
People you haven't seen before, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many good guitar players, so many good singers. It's crazy.
Yeah. I feel pretty like lucky to be even considered or talked about. Our
Sure.
band even talked about amongst the people that are talked about here, and I'm just like, what? You like our band too? Cool. It's
Totally, man. It always feels good when you hear something nice from somebody that makes you go whoa or whatever.
totally, yeah, yes. It's great.
Well, cool, Ian. I really appreciate you doing this with me, buddy, and I certainly wish you the best of luck moving forward. Hopefully, we can all get back to some form of new creation or avenues that we can get stuff out of our system. And I hope your new material comes through, and look forward to hearing it.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I look forward to hearing your new stuff too, man.
Cool, buddy. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.
All right.